we have new dual lands, and they're actually pretty powerful. So there's one of them for each 2-color combination. They all have the basic land types of the 2 colors, which is so powerful. They enter the battlefield tapped, and they surveil 1. I think these lands are going to be fantastic across so many formats. In Modern, fetches are so powerful because they're such an efficient way to tutor the land you want. So having more options of the lands you can tutor makes fetches even stronger, which is absurd because fetches are in every single deck in Modern. That's not true, but most of them. So I think that control decks especially will want 1 or 2 copies of these, because control decks, they don't mind having a land enter the battlefield tapped. You play the fetch, you hold it up. If you don't need to use it, you get a tapped land, and now you can get a land that gives you some value. And you could be a control deck that cares about the grave, where the Surveil can put it directly in there. So it's awesome in that. I think they're on the same power level as Triomes. Honestly, I'd give the edge to Triomes just by a bit because they have that cycling ability to draw a card. But this is a great option for decks that don't run that many colors where Triome would be bad. Or what I think is the best is to just run Triomes, this, Shocks, and Basics all together, and then your fetches are just so absurd. It's also great with Lorien's Reveal because they are technically islands, so you can island cycle to find that line, which gives you more options in a tutor, which is awesome. So in Commander, we've had the Scrylands, which have been a really good budget land. I would not say these are powerful. I would not put them in any CDH deck. I only put them in my decks when I care about the top of my library, but they're good lands for casuals. Now, these are so much better because how I build my Commander decks, I run a ton of fetches, and I play one of the strongest lands in the game. It's banned in Modern, Mystic Sanctuary. This card is absolutely absurd because it's fetchable, because it's technically an island, and the ability to return any spell from your grave, so you get a really good selection on top of your deck, is so strong for a land that comes in untapped. Its problem is that it needs a bunch of islands, and I just built myself this really nice blue-red deck, and I really struggled to find enough lands that have the island type that can also tap for red. So these dual lands are going to be so absurd with it, because it makes it a lot easier for this card to hit, which makes it even stronger than it was, which is so awesome. I'm so excited to put these lands in literally every single Commander deck I have because they are excellent. In Standard, the Scrylands have been played somewhat. You don't really care about the land types, but Standard is so weak that you don't need to have any crazy synergies like fetches or Mystic Sanctuaries. They're just good enough on their own to give you some value, especially if you're playing a deck that cares about the graveyard. Because sometimes putting a card into the grave is like drawing a card. So I absolutely love the design of this cycle of lands, and I'm so excited to get every single one of them because I need them all. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a good one and subscribe.